Hi, and welcome everybody to the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel. You're watching the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast, and I'm your host, Ross Benjamin. And today I'm joined by Doc Sports betting expert and one of the best in the business, Doug Upstone. And before we get to Doug and our two NBA free picks today, just a friendly reminder, our sponsor site, gamblersworld.net, great special going on today, through tomorrow, I should say. And it's the last day to get in on this Twitter drawing to get Gamblers World March Madness package for free. How can you do that? Catch the March Madness giveaway at Gamblers World. It's a $2.99 package, includes picks now through all of March Madness. And players looking to get the rest of the college basketball free need to go to Gamblers World Twitter page and like, retweet, and follow the pinned tweet for this great giveaway. We will draw the winner on tomorrow's live broadcast. So get involved today and tune into the Winner's Circle YouTube channel tomorrow and find out if you were the winner of that free package. All right, Doug, how are you, my friend?
Well, Ross, with that promo, I'm glad you just didn't have to do it this past Monday, because having to say March Madness Monday, that might be a little bit more difficult, as it were. But myself personally, I'm doing great. And today is a super day at Doug Upstone Doc Sports, because today is my 8-unit game of the year in the NHL. That's right. Game of the year goes in the NHL for just $30. And with that, 14-6 run, 70% on best bets recently, and up almost $5,000. So happy to report on that. So that's an 8-unit game of the year going today or tonight in the NHL. Also had a winner with the Orlando Magic last night. Come from behind, as a matter of fact. That was a little more nerve-wracking. But I got a winner, 8-4 recently on NBA play. So happy to report on that. And then, of course, continue to do well in particular in the prop area and the college basketball. It's kind of like, win 3, lose 2, win 2, lose 3. It's just been kind of that whole situation all year. I'm just hoping to get red hot now with the conference tournaments here. I haven't had a conference tournament play, but I do have 2 plays on Thursday night, by the way. And so all available at the Doug Upstone page at Doc Sports. So enough of me yakking, Ross. Let's go to you and tell the folks what you have going.
Well, very good, Doug, and thank you for chiming in and telling us how you've been doing over at DocSports.com, and thank you for inviting me to say how I've been doing, because got some good streaks going on, Doug. My NBA side, 74-47, 61% run. I didn't have anything in the NBA yesterday. I did go 1-1 yesterday in college basketball. Took a slight loss there because I lost with the juice. And still, all in all, 7 of the last 9 days have been profitable. And you can't do much better than that in college basketball totals. Even though I had a loser yesterday, 80-46 run with college basketball totals, 63%. And my top plays, which if you go to gamblersworld.net, are 4 units and above. My NBA top plays, 41-21 with my last 62, and that's good for 62%. And college basketball top play totals, 119-90 with my last 209, which is good for 57%. And a lot of people scoff at 57%, but when you do the math on 209 picks, folks, and you just use $100 per game as a foundational base there, you're going to be making a lot of money over that course of time. So having said that, Doug, we're going to be talking NBA today, and this is the time of year where you got to be really careful because this regular season is starting to wind down. A lot of teams out of the playoff race, a lot of teams not playing for anything, teams playing for anything for something against teams that aren't playing for anything are usually very overvalued, and then you have the gall and audacity to take the underdog in those situations. So having said all that, we're going to be looking at a game that you're going to be covering, and it's a good one. This one doesn't fall into that category. We're covering both TNT games tonight. Doug's looking at the Heat and Mavs. I'm looking at Boston at Denver. And right now, the Dallas Mavericks are a 4.5-point favorite, and the total's 229.5 against the Miami Heat, Doug. That one goes at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time on TNT. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, well, Ross, here we go. We had a sweep on Monday. Let's get another one on Thursday, okay, for our free picks here at the channel here at the Winner Circle channel. So here's my story on this one. A lot of noise all year. Luka, a lot of noise with Kyrie at the same time. Despite all the noise about these two players, okay, and how well they perform, generally speaking, they actually trail Miami by 2 games in the overall NBA standings, okay, as we do this video right now. While it is a pleasure to watch how efficient the offense can be for Dallas, they're number 6 in offensive efficiency with this dynamic duo. One area that will continue to hold them back, especially with these two players at the defensive position at guard, they are number 22 in defensive efficiency. So they just don't guard very well, and they don't have enough help up front. Miami, once again, Ross, this year battled injuries. The first literally 50 to 55 games of the year, they have finally gotten healthy, other than Tyler Hero. He's the only one. And so with that, they have won 11 of their last 14. Forget the overall stats for Miami. Okay, it doesn't mean much because this team is who they are right now. Okay, and like I said, they've won 11 of the last 14. Eric Spoelstra's team now is gotten much better ball movement, which goes a long way because of the cohesiveness of the offense now. Guys playing regularly. They got their bench set up as to how they want the rotation to work, and of course, then the defensive numbers fall into place as well. Ross, I'm not a big fan of necessarily coaching matchups, especially on a one-game individual situation, other than when you get to the playoffs. But this one, I don't know, man. Eric Spoelstra against Jason Kidd, that works for me every day of the week, Ross, and twice on Thursday. And guess what? Today's Thursday, okay? So I'm good to go with this one. Dallas has a good history of coming back after a blowout loss as a home favorite, yet they are 1-9 against the number at home after allowing 130 or more points like they did in their last game. And the last 82 times Miami has faced a team that averages 14 or more threes, they have lost by an average of just 1 point in those games. Thus, give me the points with Miami to take care of business, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if they beat Dallas outright.
Yep, but you'll take the points and not get greedy, right, Doug?
That is absolutely correct. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night, Ross.
Anyway, Miami plus the 4.5 for Doug Upstone against the Dallas Mavericks in Doug Site's Miami. How well they play as a team, how well they share the ball, how cohesive they are on both ends of the floor in terms of communication defensively and sharing the ball offensively. And yes, I would take Jason Kidd over Eric Spoelstra if they were playing one-on-one on the court, okay? Every time, anytime. But in terms of coaching prowess, Eric Spoelstra continues. I guess you could classify him as a very underrated coach. I don't know how, but the bottom line is this guy seems to get it done. Like you said, he's been bombarded by injuries the last 2 seasons. Here they are again contending in the East, and last year getting to the NBA Finals. So, I like this pick. I think there's a lot of underdog value here with the Miami Heat getting the 4.5 at Dallas. All right, let me get to my game, and that's the premier matchup between the Boston Celtics, right now the best overall record in the NBA, taking on the defending NBA champions, Denver Nuggets. That game will take place in Denver. This is the second game of the TNT doubleheader that tips off at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, the game is a pick'em, and the total is 221. Denver's coming off a 117-107 home loss to Phoenix as an 8.5-point favorite in their previous game. They're not, but they're still 24-6 at home, but just 3-2 over their last 5. So a little bit of not as dominant as they've been all season at home, but they're still a very good home team. But they're facing a pretty damn good team in the Boston Celtics tonight. And Denver, by the way, 4-8 straight up in ATS this year when the point spread, is +3 to -3. And are also 0-3 straight up in ATS within those point spread parameters, coming off a loss and being outscored by 15 points per game. So that was a little bit of surprise when I uncovered that trend. Boston also coming off a 105-104 road loss at Cleveland, and they're not going to be in a good mood tonight because not only coming off a loss, Doug, but you know what? They led that game at Cleveland by 16 points at the end of the third quarter. Were outscored by 17, lose the game by 1. Very uncharacteristic of the Boston Celtics. And that loss painfully, not only did they blow that big lead, but it ended an 11-game win streak that the Boston Celtics were on. Boston now has lost. Here's the thing with Boston, I should say. They haven't lost 2 in a row in a long time. They've lost just 2 in a row once this year, and the last time comes way back on November the 8th. As a matter of fact, the Boston Celtics are 11-0 straight up in their last 11 games following a loss and win by 16.8 points per game. I'm going to say that Boston is going to hand Denver their second home loss in a row and get back on track. I like the Boston Celtics here as a pick 'em at Denver, Doug.
Yeah, and this one, I mean, I don't think anybody would be disappointed if this was the finals matchup this year. Okay, based on what we see, I mean, that would be outstanding. And even to your point, they blew a 16-point lead, and Boston did, and they also in that game they had a 22-point lead overall, and so. That made a difference. Now, I was 100% on Boston, and then I woke up this morning and looked at the injury report and see Jaylen Brown listed as questionable. And that game actually opened with Boston -1. It went earlier today to Denver -1, and then as Ross mentioned, it's now back to a pick-up. So that adds a little bit to the confusion here. But here's a lesson that I learned a long time ago in the sports handicapping business. And it is not to overreact by chance if a star player does not play. And the latest example I can give you was Monday night when Mr. Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks was a late scratch against the LA Clippers. They were outplayed for 3 quarters, but lo and behold, in the fourth quarter, the Bucks stepped up, won the game against the Clippers outright with Antetokounmpo in street clothes. So in this one, whether Brown plays or doesn't play, I have more than enough faith in the Boston's ability. I think they're going to be, as Ross mentioned, not too happy about blowing a very winnable game 2 nights ago. And I think they're going to come in and take care of business against the Denver Nuggets tonight.
It's a good point as far as Jaylen Brown goes. It seems like when he's out of the lineup, though, that what I've witnessed over the last few seasons is Jason Tatum, who is also a bona fide star, seems to really step up his game. And he takes more onus of responsibility in those types of situations. And Boston, they have a great record, but people lose sight of the fact that's a team that's extremely deep. Yes. And not only do they play a lot of players, but they get production out of their bench as well. So looking forward to that game tonight. But in any event, our official picks are the I'll take Boston as a pick 'em over Denver, and Doug, he likes the Miami Heat plus the 4.5 at Dallas tonight. We went 2-0 Monday. We'll try to go 2-0 for you again tonight. And just a friendly reminder, folks, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please take a second to do so. Just click on that black subscribe button underneath, or if you're watching on your PC, there's a WC logo in the bottom right-hand corner of your picture. Just click on that. It'll serve the same purpose. And take one step further. And this is if you have subscribed already as well. Go into your YouTube settings and click on that alert notification bell for the Winner's Circle Sports Betting channel, and you'll be notified immediately upon any of our 5 podcasts, easy for you to say, Doug, being published. And it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to keep coming back and forth to find out if our podcasts are up yet. So, and again, tomorrow we'll be live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be joined by Sean Higgs and Jesse Schule. We'll be discussing 3 premier college basketball matchups on Saturday's card. We'll also be taking all your questions and comments. And with the NCAA tournament coming up and major conference tournaments being played next week, I'm sure you'll have plenty of them. So be sure to tune into that. Subscribe. And also, Doug's going to tell you what to do in terms of what you need when you see that like button right underneath.
Just right here. So my hands, what you got to hit is just press once and let go, and then you're all done. and then those things are going to, those plays are gonna, free plays are going to come right to you. What a great deal that is right there, Ross.
Yeah, it's just a small token of your appreciation for all the time, work, and effort we put in to bringing you a quality podcast 5 times a week and to make you a smarter sports better today than you were yesterday. Until the next time, for Doug Upstone and Ross Benjamin, don't forget, back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time with our live show. Take care and God bless, folks.